September 7th, 2024, the Colorado Buffaloes will enter Memorial Stadium to play Nebraska and Matt Rhule. And with that, we have a coaching showdown with a bunch of bad blood. Old school versus new school. Matt Rhule versus Deion Sanders. So in today's video, I'm going to break down the reason why I believe that Matt Rhule will absolutely embarrass Deion Sanders on primetime television in front of the entire college football landscape. So very quick, we have a jam-packed show today. Make sure to smash that like button if you're excited about this matchup coming up in the fall, along with subscribing to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Wilson Dittman. I post a video about Nebraska football and Nebraska recruiting every single day. So if you want to stay up to date with everything Huskers, or just want to help me hit 3,000 subs, please hit that subscribe button. But without further ado, let's jump right into it, talking about this battle between Nebraska and Colorado. And right off the bat, let's talk about Deion Sanders and what he's done over the last couple of weeks and how he's embarrassed himself and his program. Now, if you've been living under a rock or you just haven't been following the situation, there's been a mass exodus from Boulder, Colorado. Player after player has left, guys who have started for them, guys who have been depth pieces. And you've seen a common theme from not only Deion Sanders, but his sons. They have disrespected every single player who has left, whether that's through interviews, press conferences, or on social media. They've said that they're bums, that they're not going to play on the next level, that they were never going to play for Colorado. And Deion keeps enforcing the fact that, they're going to find better talent in the portal anyways. Now, this all intensified a couple days ago when Deion went viral for disrespecting a former player by the name of Xavier Smith. Xavier Smith said that Deion came to him and recommended him to enter the portal, that he was extremely disrespectful to him, that he actually put at the back of his uniform an @ symbol for the transfer portal instead of actually putting on his @ for a social media page. And he also said that Deion Sanders does not know his name, that he didn't know anybody on the team's name besides his sons and Travis Hunter. So there's a lot of stuff coming out about Deion Sanders. And I've said this for months. I said that when Deion Sanders is inevitably fired from Colorado, which will happen, by the way, there's going to be some absurd stuff that comes out. But he's absolutely embarrassed himself. He's embarrassed Colorado. He is building a failure of a program. And this brings me to my second point about Deion Sanders before I get into Matt Rhule, is that Deion Sanders is doing the exact wrong thing a coach needs to do when developing and making a program from scratch. You have got to recruit high school. You've got to do it the old school way. There's no such thing as primarily getting transfer players and just supplementing through high school recruiting. If you're not familiar with Colorado's high school recruiting, they've only landed 10 players in the class of 2024, and they have 0 commits in the class of 2025. They don't care. Deion Sanders notoriously says he does not go on visits. He doesn't go to houses. He actually says for the recruits to come to him, which reinforces that narcissistic perspective that he thinks he is the only guy who recruits should be looking up to, and they should be coming to him rather than for him to coming to them. It's not how any of this works, Deion, newsflash, but the same thing happens in the portal. And I'm going to tell you this. If you have a culture that's all around entering the portal and getting guys, you're going to see a lot of players leave year in and year out. And because of that, you will never be able to have a fluid program with players who are consistently with you, and you're never going to win. Matt Rhule does things a little bit differently, to say the least. He's old school. He builds through high school recruiting. He understands what it takes. I compare college football a lot to the NFL. In the NFL, to be a successful franchise, you have got to draft well, and then you just supplement through free agency. The exact same thing happens in college football. You've got to recruit well at a high level and then just supplement some of your holes through the portal. That's what Matt Rhule understands. Matt Rhule, not only has he built a better roster in his 2 years at Nebraska than what Deion Sanders has done at Colorado, he's had a way better culture. He's been a player head coach. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Matt Rhule, by far, is a better game manager head coach than Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders last year actually did have a talented team. They were talented. They had a bunch of really good players. But with that being said, he lost them games time and time again because of his incompetence calling plays, his offensive coordinator's incompetence calling plays, his in-game decisions, his basically reluctancy to start some players. He wouldn't bench some of his sons. Shedeur Sanders had too much of an ego. All of that. And because of that, they went 4-8. Now, if you're Deion Sanders and you went 4-8 last year, Why in the world would you sit here on your high horse and act like you are one of the best coaches in college football and that players should come to you and that recruits should come to you and that you can just sit here and disrespect every player that leaves your program? It's mind-boggling. And it's disrespectful, not only those players, but fans. The fans of your own program. You're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing the legacy of Colorado. We don't like Colorado's Nebraska fans. But one thing we can admit on is that Colorado has had some success in the past. Okay? And they do have some history. He is desecrating it. Absolutely. And he's embarrassing themselves. And because of that, they're going to be terrible once again this year. Matt Rhule, when Colorado and Nebraska face off in Memorial Stadium with 90,000 fans, it is personal. Specifically after what happened last year where Colorado won that ball game. Nebraska played terribly. And Colorado disrespected Nebraska. They said that Matt Rhule wasn't a good head coach, that Matt Rhule somehow said something that offended Colorado fans. They always create these false narratives that aren't true. It's personal for Matt Rhule. We aren't friends with Deion Sanders. We aren't friends with Colorado's players. Okay? Matt Rhule is building a real program. Deion Sanders is building a clown show program with a terrible culture, with players who are disrespected by their head coach, where their head coach does not even know their name, where a head coach refuses to actually go out and recruit and do his job. It's comical. So, excuse me if I'm fired up, but it is a joke to watch what we have watched through Colorado over the last couple months. Matt Rhule. This is a prove-it game. I fully expect Nebraska to beat Colorado in Memorial Stadium. I want to blow them out. I want to beat them by 60. If we're winning that ball game by 8 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, I want to score another touchdown. No victory formation. No running the clock out. Again, Matt Rhule loves to talk about class. I love class. But this is different. You're going up against a program that has not only disrespected you time and time again, but they've disrespected the whole world of college football. We owe every college football fan, Big Ten fan, SEC fan, to beat Colorado on September 7th and really show them that, hey, you aren't anywhere too close to where you need to be. And you're never going to get there. And Deion Sanders, you know what? You're a terrible head coach. And Matt Rhule's going to prove that. So, yeah, Matt Rhule versus Deion Sanders, September 7th. I'm going to be at that game. I hope you are too. Just a little bit of a preview, but I just want to make this video to talk about what Deion Sanders has done because it's disrespectful. And Matt Rhule, he's different than that. He's a real culture builder. He's a real players coach. He's a real game manager head coach. He understands how to rebuild programs to get them from the bottom to the top. Deion Sanders is a clown show master, and because of that, he's going to embarrass himself in Colorado once again. So let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Who do you think wins that ball game? Hey, if you're a Colorado fan watching this, I feel bad for you. I really do. I don't want to feel bad for you, but I do because your head coach is embarrassing you and your history. But if you're a Husker fan, let me know if you are excited about that ball game. Hey, if you made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe. As always, folks, go Big Red, go Matt Rhule, and see you in the next one.